Sorry, that was louder than I expected. Welcome back, my friends. Thank you for standing by and letting me step away for a moment. I can vaguely see that something I probably don't want to know about is happening on screen, so I'm trying not to look at it. Welcome to Super Smash TV on the Genesis. Smash TV is a game. My history with it's pretty brief. I only learned about it last year. I've played it on the, well, we played on the Super Nintendo, the Commodore 64, and the NES. So we've tried out all those versions, and my PB is basically the same on all three. I've made it to stage 3. I've never beaten any version of the game. The Super Nintendo is the one I've tried the most. We've done that several times on the stream. It's a game I really like, but it's so hard. I really like this game. No way! Smash TV. What Frownie might do if he has to play Turtles again. Oh, I have to play Turtles again, Conga. It's 100% gonna happen. That's how unlucky we are. So we're gonna try and play this tonight, though, because on the Genesis, one thing you can do is you can play. I believe I've heard you can play 1 player, 2 controllers. You use the 2 D-pads to simulate the twin stick experience. I have to say, though, one thing about the Genesis is Sega really started cheaping out with the Genesis controller after a while, because I've got one Genesis controller that's got like a 6 or 7 foot cord, and the other one is like half the length and barely, I know you can't really see, but this controller barely reaches to me on the couch from the Genesis over there. I am not going to be able to sit comfortably to play at all, because I'm going to have to sit weirdly forward to keep from pulling my Genesis onto the floor. So, already we're starting off with one bad sign. The length of the cord is putting me in an awkward position. Take a look at what our options look like. No? No, I didn't want to start the game. I wanted to look at the options. Ugh. It's one of those where if you press start, it starts the game, even if you have options selected. The Famicom's cord was only 3 feet. That's gross, Conga. That is disgusting. I don't want to hear that. How could Nintendo do that to us? I know Nintendo cheaped out on their controllers too, though, because the Model 2 NES, the controller cords are the cords on the controllers there are real short too. Well, actually, I have to take that back. I don't know that, because I don't have a Model 2 NES. I have a Model 2 Famicom. The controller wires are real short on the controllers for the Model 2 Famicom. All right, let's try this again. Alright, so options is just for your control. Normal, reverse, lock. Okay, I see how that would work. This shouldn't affect us, though, because, how do I get out of here? Because we're going to do the 2 controller thing. Alright, 1 player, 2 controllers. Let's roll. In the original Famicom, they are hardwired. In the Model 2, they're not. The Model 2 is the top loader NES, essentially. Wait a moment. Oh. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Alright, so first weird thing. On the NES, when you play this on the NES with 2 controllers, you hold the controllers like this, and it understands the D-pad, like, you know, D-pad normally up, down, right, left, but you have to do it like this, up, down, left, right, when you're doing two controllers on the NES. The Genesis doesn't have you do that though. You have to hold both controllers like normal. So, I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to hold this controller with the wrong hand. So, I mean, I've got it. All right. Well, we'll see. First impression, not loving this situation with the controllers. I liked the NES a lot better. This is very similar, but the awkward factor is way higher. So these are just first impressions. Could things could get better after I adjust to it for a while. I don't know how I didn't die there. Ooh, I got lucky there too. Bingo! Ho 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 ho! Hey, room wasn't bad. Because the NES version is the one I played most recently, there's some of the power-ups and stuff are missing from that game, and so I'm having to reacclimate to them. The landmines, I think, don't exist in the NES version. They're much smaller in the Genesis version, the landmines, than they are in the Super NES version. The Super NES version is like my baseline version of Smash TV. Like, I know the arcade version should be, but I've never played that, so like I judge everything by the Super NES. keep missing out on power-ups. I really wish I had a different set of controllers. That's I'm still feeling like that. I don't love the Genesis controllers for this game. Which is a shame, because I thought I really had high hopes for the Genesis. For the Genesis controllers being better, because the D-pads are circular. So I thought it would make diagonals much smoother, but the controller is so bulky, and you have to play with it in the wrong orientation. Or, you know, what feels to me like the wrong orientation for this kind of setup. Oh, yuck. Wow, you have much fewer credits in this version. On the NES, you have no extra credits. On the Super Nintendo, you have like 3 or 4 at least. You have a lot of continues. And the C64, I don't remember. Oh, he's coming for me. The animations on this boss are weird. Okay, the peanut is here. Terribly frustrating weapon. No, I couldn't pass up there. Pass through up there. Well, we beat a boss. I'm pretty shocked. Toaster bonus. Thank you for the GG, Congo. Good luck. You'll need it. Oh, you get your lives back between levels in this one. That's cool. The NES did that as well. The SNES, I think, does not, though. These orbs are pretty tough to deal with. Why was the 11 so small in film at 11? These Beyblades are super handy. Except I can't walk into the corner to pick up that speed boost with them turned on. Or the spread shot. I can't get over far enough. There are keys in this version. The NES didn't have any of those keys. But there are way fewer than the SNES version in this. I feel like those keys show up all the time in the Super NES version. And I think I've only seen 2 in this one, and I haven't collected any of them. Bingo! Ho, 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 ho. My neck itches. Oh my goodness. Well, things are going really rough for me. Oh, hey, we have a lot more credits than I thought. I don't know why I thought I only had 1 credit before. I guess the 1 somehow looked like a 5. Or the 5 somehow looked like a 1, rather. Well, this is way better. No, I was mere moments away from the sprint gun. That start of life invincibility wears off way faster than I think it's going to. And it's causing me to toss a lot of lives in the trash. A lot of lives in the trash. Oh, nice. Hey, we have a raid coming in. Welcome in, Raiders. Pleasure to have you with us. 10 seconds. Oh, there's a countdown timer. All right, let me hit the button and then pause. Welcome in. Is that, I'm not sure what you go by. AI? L33? Is what it looks like. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Tusk, good to see you. Welcome in, my friend. Pleasure to have you here. Master Max, good to have you with us again. Hey, I see a lot of familiar faces. It's so fluffy. Welcome in. Thank you, thank you. Pleasure to have you join us. So, what were you up to? How did your stream? Lee. Sorry, Lee. Thank you for helping me out. Sorry I blundered that. It's so obvious when you know. How was your stream? What were you doing? What's it say here? I've got a icon over top of the shout out. I can't read what it says. Something about Final Fantasy? World of Final Fantasy. Hopefully you had a good stream. I'm clicking through and checking out your page here real quick. I'm going to give you a follow. About says, a shy person just here to have fun, play RPGs, rhythm games, and make friends. Right on. My Final Fantasy experience, I have to admit, is very limited. Yours doesn't seem to be. I see a lot of Final Fantasy going on in your recently streamed categories. Right on. Thank you for the wheel, Tusk. We'll spin that in a moment after everyone's had a chance to get settled in with us. Huggies to you and your wonderful people. You were recommended for a raid by Tusk. Hey, thank you for putting in a good word for us, Tusk. We'll try to be on our best behavior and live up to the recommendation. I appreciate you, Eiley, trusting us with your people. We will try to take good care of them. Thank you for the follow. No problem. Happy to help you out. Hopefully our schedules don't conflict too terribly. If I catch you live sometime, I'll be sure to drop in. But I'll give you the heads up now. I'm really bad about that. It generally takes me a good long time to actually drop in on the people I follow, but I will do my best to keep an eye out for you. Going to bed now, Fluffy says. Have an awesome stream, though, Frownie. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by and chatting with us a moment. Same to Master Max. You got to get some sleep as well. No worries. Sleep well, my friends. Hopefully I'll get to spend some more time with you in the near future. But I appreciate you being here, if only for a brief while tonight. I hope you get a great rest and have a wonderful weekend. For everyone who's come in, if you're new to the stream, thank you for checking out what we do here. I'm Frownie, of course. I stream several nights a week. 11 p.m. Central Time is the general startup, and we go for about 5 to 7 hours typically. It's a retro stream primarily. We do new games occasionally on the Switch. We are playing Tears of the Kingdom right now, kind of every other day, and every other day is retro business as usual. We're currently working through Alundra. I've been on the PlayStation 1. I've been struggling with Turtles 2 on the NES. We've been sampling a lot of different versions of Smash TV, like what we're doing right now, and playing various Commodore 64 games. So that give you an idea of the kind of stuff you might see around here. It's generally a pretty family-friendly environment around the stream. Try to be comfy, chill, laid back. Let everyone sort of relax. We've got a very strict blind policy when it comes to game playthroughs. So you'll frequently see me confused, struggling, lost, and sometimes quite unhappy as I try to work my way through the games. But I find the approach of trying to do everything the hard way and figure everything out on my own gives us some really amusing moments of like eureka moments, and some really great victories on the rare occasions they do happen. So it's all worth it in the end. We're going to spin this wheel as per Tusk's request. This is the Wheel of Scorchin. It's got different spicy or sour items on it, and I'm just going to take a sample of whatever it gives me. Some of them are quite mild, and some of them are quite devastating. And let's see what happens to me. Beware. This is a habanero pepper sauce. It's supposedly the hottest sauce on the board. It says warning level, heat level. It says warning, heat level 5X's. Keep out of reach of children. Avoid contact with eyes and skin. Do not play tricks on the weak or elderly with this sauce. It's a Marie Sharp's brand. Okay, this is what the bottle looks like. Eiley says, super tired, ready for bed. Hope your stream goes well. Thank you, Eiley. Thank you again for the raid. And by all means, take good care of yourself. If you need some sleep, get some sleep. Hopefully we will be able to enjoy your company another time. But for now, I'm just happy that you stopped by. Have a wonderful weekend. Perfectly safe for internal organs, Conga says. Yeah. Allegedly. Hey, Thrifty, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the follow, Eiley. Definitely appreciate having you come on board with us. Frownie's approach to video games taught me something about Dark Souls I never knew, and I've played that game for a decade, Tusk says. One of my greatest achievements, one of my proudest achievements, is I was able to beat Dark Souls blind. It only took 200 hours. But I made it through. I never had to look anything up. I never had to ask for help. I just had to suffer for very long periods of time. Yeah, what thing was it that you learned, Tusk? Was it about the curse? Because I feel like that was like my one like idea moment. It was. You can if you don't have any, if you need to fight ghosts and you don't have any of the cursed hands, you can go to the sewers and get the frogs to curse you, and that the curse from the frogs is the same as the temporary curse from the hands, and so you can fight ghosts with either. I figured that out of pure desperation. That was my one big brain move for the whole playthrough. Oh. The Wheel of Scorchin was not a big brain move. Oh my goodness. I'm okay. I'm worried. I'm just worried about hiccups. Uh, I think I'm alright. I think the worst of it is past. Oh. I probably pointed this out a time or two, but sometimes people are curious, so if you're wondering, the library cabinet back here, this was a gift from my sister. And I've been using it to keep my NES games. This is an amazing... Look at it. You see the amazing condition that my collection is in? Of all the games to pull out. This is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. But But yeah, it's just the drawers are the perfect size for the for my NES games. So it's quite nice. Yeah, allegedly it's Chippendale Rescue Rangers. And if my home burns down, I'm gonna tell the insurance company that this was my copy of Nintendo World Championships. All right, let me get my big head out of the way. So we're playing Smash TV tonight on the Genesis. I've never beaten Smash TV. I've sampled a couple different versions of it. The Super Nintendo version is sort of my baseline for comparison. It's the one I'm most familiar with. I put the most hours into. We've also looked at Smash TV on the Commodore 64 and the NES. So now the Genesis is the fourth version. So I'm probably going to be making a lot of comparisons just as I ramble about the game. So it's those I'm referencing. I've actually never played the arcade version or an arcade accurate port. I'm pretty new to this game. I only learned about it last year, I think. So one cool thing about the NES version is that you can actually play it one player, two controllers, and you hold the controllers on their sides. It's a twin stick shooter game. So you have one stick to move and one stick to fire in any direction. And you can mimic that on the Super Nintendo controller. It's really easy because you have a D-pad and you have 4 buttons and a cross. So it works really well. On the NES, you use 2 controllers. You hold them sideways, and one of them is movement, and one of them is firing. The Genesis does the same thing. So I'm playing with 2 controllers. I'm a little uncomfortable because the wire on one controller is really short, and I got to sit weird to make it reach. But whatever. But the thing is, it's actually really awkward on the Genesis because you don't turn the controller sideways. You can't. You have to keep it like this. So you can't really see what I'm doing. But I'm holding one controller normally, just with half a hand. I don't want to make the thing big. Just with half a hand, I'm holding it like this. But the other controller, I have to hold from the top and keep my thumb on it like this with the wire between my fingers, and it's very weird. So I'm not crazy about my control setup for this game. It's the least comfortable version of this that I've played. The C64 version was good because I didn't play on an actual C64. I play it on a C64 Mini. I use a gamepad that's like a Super NES gamepad, so the controls there aren't a factor. That doesn't really count. But this is weird. Can you twin pad mode on the Super NES? I don't think you can, Mansta. I don't think it has that option. And I don't know. I don't even have one 6-button controller, Mansta, so I can't tell you about the 6-button one. That's a nice chest of drawers. Thank you, Thrifty. Yeah, it's very nice. It was a very, very nice gift. It was very I was very perplexed when it arrived. My sister sent it to me and Jelly for Christmas, and she didn't tell us what it was, of course, because it was a gift. But this giant box showed up one day, and I'm like, what in the world is this? And even after I opened it, I was scratching my head for a little while because I was like, this is really nice, but why did she send me this? It's so unexpected. Jelly and I both have a long history with libraries, though, so it does kind of make sense. Jelly's parents have both worked in libraries. Jelly and I have both worked in libraries. Jelly's still in the library game. Jelly and I actually got married in a library. That's where we held our ceremony. So we have a lot of connection to libraries. A piece of library furniture does make sense. All right, let me see here. Tusk says, I loaded up and got cursed by a basilisk to make sure it wasn't a fever dream. Desperation breeds creativity. Frownie's contemplating how he's going to ban me. It may have taken you 200 hours to beat Dark Souls, but you taught me something I didn't even know about the game, and I have more than 1,000 hours in it. Happy to help, Tusk. The 6-button controller, they're smaller. The 3 buttons are deceptively unergonomic, Mansta says. Buddha fingers welcome in. I think it's a D-pad problem, and it's going to stay a D-pad problem, 6 buttons or no. That's kind of my suspicion. Though, if you played with us, if you played with the 6-button controller, right? I still think it would be. I think it would probably be kind of wonky. I don't know though. That's awesome. Tusk says. You should organize your collection by the Dewey Decimal System, Mansta says. Well, I mean, the thing is, the Dewey Decimal System's just for nonfiction, right? And how many games do I have that would fall under the non-fiction category? Nothing says romance like the Dewey Decimal System. Predator, Jaws, Alien, Star Tropics. I actually do think it's a funny idea, though. I mean, there is a category for literature in the Dewey Decimal System, but typically, libraries, it's more books, more anthologies and books about literature than, fiction is I don't think I've ever seen fiction classed under the Dewey Decimal System in any library I've been in, but, I mean, you still could probably do it. These are nonfiction, so is DuckTales. So my impressions of this game is, like, it seems to be a very, like all versions of Smash TV I've played, I do enjoy it, but I don't really like my control situation. This is a pretty awkward way to have to hold the controller to play the game. My expectation going into it, I actually thought that this might be the best way to play it. I had really high hopes because the Sega Genesis has circular D-pads, and I thought it would be great for, like, diagonal inputs. So I actually thought this was going to be the best, but I'm kind of not into the Genesis controllers. for this, sadly. Always thought Prometheus was fiction, Mansta says. The alien movie, Prometheus? I actually haven't ever seen it. I have a copy of it. I bought a copy of it on Blu-ray. I got it secondhand for like $1 somewhere, but I've never sat down to watch it. I haven't heard very good things about it overall. No, wait, you bought that for $1? I sure did. I sure did. One of the libraries I used to visit, for their book sale, they sold every item for $1, and sometimes they would get Blu-rays, and I would just buy everything they got in on Blu-ray, whether I was particularly interested in it or not. There was a time where I was just buying them all because they were so cheap. Though Prometheus I would be mildly interested in, because I do like the Alien movies. The old ones, anyway. I haven't seen, like, any of the, like, newer stuff with, like, the Predator crossovers and stuff. No! Alien versus TMNT? That would be amazing. Dual joysticks is probably the best option. You like Prometheus? Fair enough. I can't really say. You know, I don't have an opinion of it because I haven't seen it. But I haven't really been in a hurry just because it seemed like it was underwhelmingly received. Bleeding lives here in some of these rooms. Oh, and yeah, I definitely think you want to play dual sticks for this game. I actually have this game on the PlayStation 2 as well, but I'm saving that version for last. I don't want to play that one until I've given all the other ones a really fair shot, preferably until I've at least beat some of them, but I don't think that's ever going to happen at the rate I'm going. But, like, I'd really like to, especially the Super Nintendo version, if I could beat that one before I play the PlayStation 2 one, I'd kind of like to do that, because I do expect that being able to play with the twin joysticks is going to be so much better that it's going to kind of ruin all the other versions for me. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Sesame Street. Oh my goodness. I love it. Heard some of the hate for Prometheus. I thought it was pretty cool. Tied into the lore, the Alien movies have done a decent job with that. Just got a copy of Activision Anthology. Looking forward to playing some Pitfall 2. Just need a PlayStation 2 now. Right on. We're gonna do Pitfall 2 on the Commodore 64 at some point. I wanna spend some more time with the first Pitfall before I move on to it, but I'm definitely eager to check it out. Game over. Well, I made it onto the leaderboard. I think Prometheus was a good way of returning to something akin to the original Alien movies, Tusk says. Alright, well, we've given this a try. I expected that I would try it with the regular controllers more. But I kind of don't like them very much. So, if you'll excuse me a moment, I'm going to step away. I'm going to grab some different controllers. And we'll try something else out for a moment. Give me just a second, my friends. Okay, so one of the cool things about the Genesis is that you can plug a Sega Genesis controller into an Atari 2600 and it works. They have the same port, right? They both the controllers end with the like 9-pin connector. And most people know that. So I thought, you know, maybe I could take an Atari 2600 controller, and maybe I could plug 2 of these into the Genesis, and then have 2 sticks to play the game with. The thing is, the original 2600 controller is so stiff that it kind of requires the leverage of... It kind of requires the leverage of both hands in order to actually move the stick. So even if the button, because I'm kind of concerned the button won't work to let me actually start the game, but even if it does, this may be a somewhat terrible experience because I'm not going to be able to actually get the leverage I need to move the sticks. I'm probably going to have to hold each one in a way that's going to destroy my hands, so I won't be able to play very well. But we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. What I'm more optimistic for is the controller from the Atari Flashback, which is actually looks like this. Right, that's much more reasonable. But we'll try the original Atari controllers first. I need some double-sided tape. So let me step away one moment to plug these controllers in, and we'll see. We'll see if it's any better, worse. This is what it's like. We'll do some science. Alright, thank you for your patience as I step away 1,000 times, my friends. I hope this is gonna work. I've got to check out for now, Conga says. Have an unfrustrating rest of your stream. Thank you, Conga. I appreciate you being here with me and helping to keep spirits high when I was lost in misery. Thank you very much for your fine companionship and your mod work tonight, my friend. Have a great weekend if I don't see you again. Alright, one player. No! No! I'm already thwarted. I don't have a start button. Neither there's only one button on the joystick, and on neither joystick will the button register as the start button. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to do that, but it's gonna be a real pain. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to start the game and swap the controller. So, alright, let's see. Fingers crossed. Alright, here we go. Oh, these joysticks are so terrible. They function, though. I've got them on my desk in front of me, so you may hear some scraping and sort of unpleasant noises as they sort of slide around on us. I'm gonna do as best I can to minimize that, but, It's actually harder than playing with the Genesis controllers. I mean, I don't know why I said actually. The sticks work. I mean, they're responsive. It's just I don't really have a very good grip on them. If I had these like mounted on something, like with a weight, so they wouldn't move. It would be semi-viable. Oops. I'm mildly concerned that when I need to use a continue, that using a continue is going to be annoying without a start button. I really hope it lets me use the A button for continuing, but I kind of doubt it will. The thing is, because I don't have, like, consistent leverage against the joysticks, every time I want to change my character's direction, I have to completely change how I'm holding the joystick. Let's see if I can keep them on my thighs instead of the table. So sudden reflex actions, unplanned movements, really not super viable. I kind of have to know where I'm going in advance and be really set on it. Yeah, I can't continue. Having to swap the controller out for using my continues. Alright, the Atari 2600 controllers are a kind of an immediate failure. I kind of, like, on the one hand, I want to keep using them for the novelty of it, but it's so very inconvenient. I think we're gonna write these off as a failure. I don't think they're worth their many inconveniences. I will try out these Atari Flashback controllers though. They don't have the same sort of like majesty that the original 2600 joysticks have, but they do have more buttons, so I'm hopeful one of the buttons is going to read a start. And they have a joystick that the form factor is handheld. They kind of intend for you to use it like this, I think. But the joystick is actually small enough that I think, fairly reasonably. So this is going to be the first time playing Smash TV with a thumbstick. And this, I actually have very high hopes for this. So I really hope these work. because this might be the best way to control it yet. But I will have to find out. Let me switch these out. Alright, the wires on these controllers are actually pretty decent length. They're just, they've been kind of curled up for a long time, which makes them feel shorter than they are. Ow. Alright, once again, I don't have a start button. That really surprises me, because these little controllers, like, they've got a button on each side. Oh, well, never mind. The stick doesn't even work. These are a complete failure. No. Ah, the stick doesn't even work on these. They're built too differently inside. That's very disappointing. I was really looking forward to trying these out. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I can't believe it comes to this. Well, I really wanted those to work. I'm sorry. I'm just really crushed. I'm just really crushed at the moment. I was really looking forward to using these little joysticks. I thought it was gonna be perfect. So I figure we ought to move on to something else for the rest of our time here. Well, maybe we'll call it a night. I don't know. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anything else planned. What might we do? I don't want to go back to turtles. That's what that's one thing I'm certainly terrified of. We could always run Battletoads, Tusk says. I haven't played Battletoads in a while. It was suggested to me that I do a playthrough of Battletoads as the Player 2 character. We could do that. Let's do a run of Battletoads. Let me move back to the NES. We'll run through Battletoads. We'll play through as Battletoad number 2. Just to pretend like it's a different experience than what we've had before. So thank you for trying out Smash TV with me, my friends. I will play the Genesis version some more. It's not going to be my go-to. I think we'll head back to the Super Nintendo and stick with that one for a while yet before we, or maybe the NES. Maybe we'll go back to the NES Smash TV. And spend some time with that one instead. We will eventually do more of the Genesis Smash TV. But yeah, I'm not crazy about those controllers. And I'm really just crushed that these didn't work. So yeah. Hey, stand by just a moment, my friends. We'll put Battletoads on. We'll have some fun with that. Battletoads never lets us down, right? Terrified of terrible turtles and tyrannical twisting turns. It's truly a train wreck. Buddhafinger says, it is. I appreciate your alliteration. Alright, one moment, friends.